Don't play.
Don't be playing on my phone. And little did she know it was her boss. And now she's like out of a job and homeless. Keeping it real goes wrong.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm glad y'all here.
Dave Chappelle.
We're glad y'all here. So, Late Ill Kid at One Young, so hold it down, bring the street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, yes, we have another wonderful episode of Loungin, Easter edition. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, we
Easter
are terrible. We are leading y'all astray on Easter Sunday. I hope y'all went to early service.
You know, early service, or maybe y'all have a later service.
You know, on Easter they usually have the morning, the afternoon, and that evening one that nobody wants to go to.
Yeah. So before we get started, I'd like to give honor to God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So you know, bless all y'all. We love all y'all. All right. So to the left, my Steve. This is why. See what happens. My esteemed colleague, Marqueeda LaStar.
Keeping it real holy on this blessed day.
Oh man. Javon, what's up? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Alan Lewis, what's up? If Low Miss Chocolate rolls through, tell her we said what's up, because I'm not sure if she's watching or not, but make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to share this out to your folks and all that good stuff. Now, before we get started, I got some housekeeping to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost at 1,000 videos.
Oh,
brother, trying to put in that work. I don't know. I'm gonna do something special for 1,000 videos. I don't know what. I'm gonna try to do something live, something fun. But I've also crossed 2,000 subscribers. That's right. Yeah, your boy
on the way up,
trying to climb, just trying to baby climb.
That micro influencer.
Baby,
get at him
climb.
If you want that micro influencer clout.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Get at him.
Baby climb.
Get at him. You know, there's a real market. That's
for real.
That's real.
Yo, hey, look.
I have legitimate invited to events to be a micro influencer.
But I thought you had to be like at 5 to be like micro.
No, it's at 1,000.
Ooh, word.
So, pro tip.
Yo.
Look for those opportunities because it's considered more authentic.
Ooh.
Than the people who've got like hundreds of thousands.
Yo, look, y'all got something y'all trying to sell. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? I thought it had to be a 5 or it had to be a 1. So
Pete already hit the game.
Yo, people boy. But with that said, we got some news to get to. And I think we start at the bad and go good. Because we got one, we only got like one bad thing. The rest
I think everything else is fine.
Yes. So unfortunately we lost Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah. And we acknowledge that we're a little late on this, but you know, there was a lot going on.
We missed a lot of shows.
Yeah.
We were gone.
All right.
We lost him. We all know how we lost him, and the process has been going on for like legal stuff and all that. The rest has happened, all that. Yeah. But this is more about his memory.
Right.
Laura Ingraham this week, who is not the most sensitive person anyway.
Statement of the year.
Decided to remark on Nipsey Hussle. Now, the right thing would have been just like Nipsey Hussle, you know, it's a shame what happened. You know, he passed, but his music lives on. End segment. If you don't know, you can end segment right there.
Yeah, you can. You could. I really just. You know what? You're extending the olive leaf, and I just kind of want her to leave.
Oh yeah, like don't say nothing.
I don't think she would have been able to say anything passing, no matter what that guy had done in his life.
True.
I am sure she did not take the time. I didn't even bother to read because I was like, I ain't trying to raise my blood pressure today. I ain't got no problem with my blood pressure yet, but I'm not trying to have any problems with my blood pressure.
It did get me a little mad when I watched it because I was just like,
yeah, I stay away from her
just roll your eyes.
Because she doesn't have any facts for you. She's not a real reporter. She's a commentator.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference between being a reporter and a commentator. Meaning I give you my illy informed opinions and tout them as facts.
See, the thing is,
parade them as facts more like it.
But the thing about commentators is they're supposed to be like very well informed.
They're supposed to be how that started is they're supposed to be experts in their field.
Yeah.
That's how it got started. Commentators come from, we're gonna invite Dr.
or the scientist
or more he's researching, or political analyst, expert, so-and-so who worked on That's what your commentator is supposed to. They're supposed to have mad credentials when they work in. But
or maybe someone who's been in the game
for a long time. You know, they have long history. But you literally, especially with Fox, you have people who know. I saw this great box, not Fox, but box. They have, I forget that it's called Strike Through.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the guy who's the host of it is Carlos Maza. I think it's how you pronounce his name. Look it up, Strike Through. And I was like, these videos were great because I have, not because they confirm, but they explain things that I've been trying to like work out and figure out.
Okay.
Because I see a pattern and they see the same pattern. Like he had this video on like how Trump watches Fox and Friends and how bad that is because before he got elected, the show was a joke. These like 3 goofy ass commentator personality entertainment people who have the attention of the president and all his childlike approach to information.
True.
And literally he got the idea from a former boss who now does research and analytics in this field, politics. But he did it himself just to see it, you know. And the thing about anything that has any kind of scientific clout is being able to reproduce your results. Yeah. You know, you could tell somebody about somebody and say, hey, just do it yourself.
Yeah, and check it out on your own.
That's the easiest way to kind of prove yourself to be right. If I can go and do it, or the common layperson can go and do it, it's got some weight. I got weight. I can reproduce it. So what they did is pretty much they looked at his tweets. You can go back and see tweets history. And if you don't know this, on Twitter, you can actually search for date, and I think you can limit it by time. Yeah. So there's a way people be rolling through these tweets. Yeah.
You
so
can
just
search,
know, just because you got 5 million tweets, people can get through those.
People can find them.
And can find them. And that's what he was doing. So he had this spike as he became president, and they put it on a chart where he's literally repeating what Fox and Friends says. Like, it's scary. Like, either he talks about what they're talking about, or sometimes he does it verbatim. Like, it was like scary. Wow. And so, so they're not the best source of anything.
They're not.
Clearly, they're not.
Should be, because they should be well read, and even though they're not,
and they have a history of making mistakes and not correcting them, or if they do correct them,
like letting it ride.
The hit line. Well, yeah, I mean, there's another video on how they spin all of Trump's scandals, and they drag the people on the bus, they drag the whistleblowers under the bus. Sometimes they go, "This is not a big deal." It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's all
or, you know, they say, well, it's not important about what the leakers know. It's just we have a leak. That's the problem. And I'm like, no, what they leaked is important.
Yeah, we can do 2 things.
Right, exactly. I personally think
we can say, okay, leaker. Yeah, we can say, okay, leaker. That we can deal with your leak later.
Right.
But due to this evidence, we also need to follow this evidence.
Right. But just to bring nuance to that, I think there's a huge difference between, because when people think of leaks and they think of it being bad, they think WikiLeaks, which they don't look at the information and say, hey, if we release this is going to cause more problems than it fixes. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if we spoke about this or I spoke about this somewhere else. I think that is the big difference between somebody who has a journalistic background,
than like Julian Assange.
Because they have ethics. Ethics. They're like, look, we're not trying to endanger people. That's why they don't give up their sources, because they realize their sources would be endangered by giving this information. But they do realize that the public needs to see it. The public needs to know about this. Us having the fourth estate, which is the press, it having them be free to do this is what keeps us from falling into some of the things that other countries are going through, where, you know, their journalists are just being killed. And that's happening closer to than you think. And we're moving closer to that if we don't get the reins on it and pull it back.
Now, speaking of that, we're going to jump back on Laura Ingraham real quick. Quick shout to the chat. Goatee fanboy, what's up? Alan, no, I don't know about Sri Lanka right now or Florida, but if it's Alligator Man, holla at me. Now,
Sri Lanka had its Easter Sunday already over there. Well, it's now they're a day ahead of us.
They're a day ahead of us.
And they have 2, I think the count I last saw was 207 dead from an Easter bombing. And they have at least twice that number in the hospitals. Yeah. So like I did not see them earlier when I saw it this morning, whether they knew who was responsible, if anybody was claiming responsibility for it. But that's what happened there. So I'm aware. Yes, I don't have any details on it though.
Well, I just heard,
and I don't know about the thing in Florida. I didn't see anything in Florida unless that's like super duper new. So he's like, so Alan's like really on his shit this morning.
Alan, thank you, sir.
Now, that just got out. That's all breaking news.
That's breaking. I can't even comment it. But back to Julian Assange. Before we get back to Lauren Ingram, when it comes to WikiLeaks, do you see them as, because sometimes I see them as like, yo, man, we need this information. It sucks, but sometimes we need it. And then sometimes I feel like it's just fluff just to have. Do you see it as a necessary evil, or do you think that there should be a filter? Like there should be like WikiLeaks going on, but then like a filter to be like, we don't want the public to blow up.
Demonstrated more restraint and was going for the win. I was like, look, you can have a great cause, but if you go about it messy,
because they just be dropping,
exactly. You go about it wrong, you lose people. And I said, well, there's a lot of fallout from when they released those cables, and some of it was unnecessary. This is what I'm talking about. Literally, people bad mouthing different heads of state.
Yeah,
people are people.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, some of it was gossip.
It was gossipy. Yeah. I don't know why you would put that in a cable. The rule is you never put anything in writing that you don't want the public to see. But clearly these people didn't follow that rule. No. So bad on them too, because we all know there's a lot of emails I want to write. But then we wouldn't
have known about like the Tyco stuff, the Enron stuff.
Right. There's so there's like there's good and bad to it. I'm just saying, don't be about to lift out World War III to tell me about Enron. True. I was like, why are you doing that? That's petty, and we ain't gonna care about that if you touch off a war.
So it's kind of like the way it's released, or
the way it's released.
Or maybe if it's then it kind of becomes.
Also, I think they also bury their own message. If you're missing, people should have the bandwidth to do multiple things at the same time.
Yes, but they should.
But people aren't. People are weird, they're petty. The things that they attach their memory and brains to. There's even a research about this, about how if you tell somebody a lie, particularly a negative one, even when they've had a full correction, they still have some issue against the target of that lie. They still retain some
because the first memory is
something negative, and they just hold on to that. Even when I was like, nope, stop. Okay, this is part of the research.
An experiment. Somebody did
I tell you a dirty lie about somebody, and you're enraged.
Yeah, and then you come back the next day and be like, hey, I checked, I found out, my bad, I was wrong.
Right. Full correction, and that's not even something you're often going to get in the media. You're going to get like mixed up where
they'll put a correction on page like 98.
That or like the headline contains the lie. It'll first state the lie, and then it will say under that found to be unproven, found to be unknown. So I was like, so that's the problem. Like, but even if I were to stop every person and say, no, this is what happened. Yeah. At some point they don't care, and you see this online all the time. When people are like dropping all this, like we
were just talking about the joint with you were talking about what's his name, Jordan Peele. Where remember on the at the panel?
Oh yes.
She was on a panel. You can check it out on this channel. It was getting diverse voices in the streets. Look, all right. Women in Comics is on this channel. Watch it. All right, it's getting voices out there. All right, but she was talking about. I remember Hollywood Reporter, the lie. It was like a straight like Jordan Peele. White people can't be in my movies or something. And then they correct their own lie in their own article. Later down, when you go down, you see the full quote, and it's like, oh, he's not saying what he's saying is that we've seen this story tread so much that he wants to change the perspective. So it has nothing to do with his. It has nothing to do with like I'm out to
his
stop white
last
people.
big movie had a whole family of white actors that were supporting actors. Yeah. So he says, I'm just taking my opportunity to give people the lead opportunities that they don't get. It's something that we keep talking about. We've been talking about for decades in Hollywood. How, you know, unless you're like a special sparkle pony, like they only have so many. I'm a special sparkle pony, but my thing is I don't want my other non-sparkle ponies being denied.
Yeah,
you know. So that's my thing. So the thing is, well, we have tokenism when it comes to representation in any form in Hollywood, any significantness. It's always boiled down to tokenism. We'll take a couple.
Or we'll take
shoot you guys up that high.
We'll take one black person and make them the star of the show, but then surround them with nothing but white people.
Exactly. So, okay, on the show, you're right. It's like, because my point is that they have a few. And so anytime you bring up like not having enough representation, there's bias in the system, they'll give you those 4 or 5 people. And you're like, what's the percentage again, though? Or even if you point out how much Black culture is used to entertain and sell things, if you're going to use our culture, then we should be at the table a lot more. So there's a lot of reasons, but what they'll do, or our favorite, well, Obama was president. What are you talking about? Racism is over. Racism is switch. Exactly. So we hear this all the time that we should be happy with the few tokens they've allowed in, and we keep saying that ain't good enough. Even and then losing like opportunities to people who don't do the best job too. On top of that, it's just like, ugh.
But Jordan Peele is a perfect example of like, stop taking our stuff. Make your own stuff. And it's like, cool. I'm gonna make my own stuff.
True.
Then you make your own. Then you make your own stuff. And they're like, why can't we be in your stuff?
Right. They literally, that has happened so many times for award shows, for movies.
They'd be like, make your own stuff.
Any kind of company you can think of. There's been a time where some old, you know, non-Black person has gotten bold enough to say, well, you know, why y'all begging over here for scraps?
Why don't you make your own?
Why don't you make your own? And they say that to us fully thinking we can't. That's because that's the only way to explain.
Because it's not that we can't make our own. It's that even when you think the scripts don't exist, of course they do.
Right.
They're not greenlighting the project.
We're like, we want to be a part. We want to be included. We're not trying to segregate ourselves from you. And then they literally force you to segregate. And then when you bring up segregation, they're like, well, why you got HBCUs? You know the reason why.
Do you really want to know why we have HBCUs?
It's in a history book. You want to pick one up? Do you really want to know? And we still have problems even at PWIs, which are primarily white institutions. Where you hear the stories of people being harassed. And that was happening a lot. Recently, you had stories like the roommate that was putting her period blood on her Black roommate.
Don't even get me started on that one.
She was doing disgusting stuff. The girl was getting sick behind it.
Stuff somebody should have got killed on.
Right. And she didn't serve no jail time. She got pat on the wrist. And she cried, why is this happening to me? Because you're awful person. You're not the person. You're just straight up trash.
I would stomp that person.
Exactly.
I'll stomp that girl out.
She was doing stuff that was just sick, gross, and demented, and had the audacity to be like, "Why are you doing?"
The mentality behind that is sinister.
It was really something's wrong with her.
Yeah, something wrong with her.
Someone's wrong with her, and then when she.
But I know how to fix it.
Right. So I just look.
Beat that girl like a rug. But anyway, back to Laura Ingraham. She's on Fox News. She gets a chance to speak about Nipsey Hussle. Like I said, she could have been like, Nipsey Hussle, it's tragic that we lost him, but his music lives on. Boom, end it. You could have left it alone. But somehow.
We didn't need a comment from Fox. Really.
Somehow, some way.
We've been good.
She figured out a way to make it worse. To find a way for her and her co-host to laugh about it. Well, okay. They weren't specifically laughing about his death. I believe they were laughing at his name, but still, it's not the time. And I don't think this would have ever happened.
People's names, though.
Yeah, and I don't think this would have ever happened.
I feel like
if Reba McEntire had died, you would not have seen this. Right. There would have been flying a flag at half mast.
But my thing is, and that to me is coded language.
Yeah.
We have. Look, my name is Marqueeda. That is my government name. You think white people ain't gave me a hard time about my name? You think other snooty, uppity Black people who want to fit in and love their token, I'm a special snowflake, pick-me's, haven't said, is that your name? Yes, that's the name my mother gave me, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you very much. Next. I was like, you know, and if you're going to get my name wrong, be original about it. Oh my God.
It's like, look, they covered that in elementary school.
Exactly. And I'm petty as fuck. You call me out my name, I'm going to rhyme with your name. I'm going to rhyme with your name until it's not funny. It's going to be 6 months after the fact.
Like,
and you'll be okay, Marqueeda. I got it. Okay, Marqueeda, I got it. I don't care, Leather, Feather, Heather, whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
Up your name
I'll mess up your name forever and a day, so you can get a little taste of this, because I can diss you for being 500. There's a bajillion people who got your name.
Yeah,
you know, my mother wanted to do something special, and I just don't have a problem with it. I like my name for all my love of nicknames, which I really do. I'm big on nicknames. I think because I think it's part of the culture. You know, black culture. You got nicknames, affection. You got Pookie. Yeah. You know, I actually had some of those, like Puda. I got some of those in my family, Trey and all that. And like, you could grow up your whole life and not know which your cousin,
like
auntie.
Big shout out. We got Thomas D in the chat. I'm pretty be like, yo, what up, T? And they just call him T. He been T all his life. People think his name is T. T-E-E. They don't know his name is Thomas. We're like, yo, what up, T? We come around, but they're like, you bring one of your white friends around, they're like,
oh. Pause, like you gotta like do something legit, like do some government stuff, and you're like, hey, what your cousin name is?
I know we call him Junebug, but what's his real name? What's his real name?
So nicknames for us are endearments, and so I have zero problems with nicknames. I love them for that reason, because they're affectionate to me. Yeah. But I don't need you. And then you got to level up to give me a nickname.
Level up.
I have people like try to like nickname with my name, and then they call me something my family does. I'm like, you earned that. You earned that. Hold up. But I take real. That's coded language. If you're making fun of his name, and plus it's a stage name. Like,
I wanted to applaud our culture, even though I feel like this is only happening because this is a situation where there was a passing. But since there was a passing, I'm glad that we were pretty much in unison and saying, no, you've gone too far. We won't have you disrespect this person. And I wanted to say thank you because regardless of how you feel about Nipsey Hussle's life, his interactions, whatever, his past life, whatever he did earlier, whatever, in his adulthood, he worked very hard.
Extremely hard. I saw a post.
Whenever you're working to help people, I can't hate on him.
Exactly. So I saw a post that his contribute, just all the different businesses and initiatives he started. They clocked at his passing around like $200 million.
Wow.
And the value he's created in his. I mean, people need opportunities to do second chances, and that's not to say he's perfect, but the idea that you have to be just immaculate,
like a blameless dove,
like a clean slate, to do good in your community when no one else will do it. I don't know, that doesn't. I was like, especially if he's still here. Like, my thing is harping on the negative things about a person that's bad, and I make exceptions. Like, if they're out here killing, murdering, raping people, we shouldn't. Yeah. We can't balance it out with your good deeds and stuff. But I feel like there are offenses that I feel like are fixable. Like, they're like, if they were still here, that's a conversation we could have had, and maybe we could have had them evolve on their positions with that, because Nipsey did have some opinions that weren't by other parts of the Black community that was not welcome.
They weren't the greatest. They weren't the greatest.
And I saw some interviews actually recently before he passed away, where he was trying to backtrack on that and say, hey, but even when he's
maybe not even backtrack, just be like, yo, back then, that's how I felt.
That's not what.
And I was wrong. Well, I mean,
I know. But
the best thing would be like, yo, when I was 25, I felt like this. I'm 35 now.
And I have to say that because there's a lot of people coming out and wanting to talk about that. And I said, well, do we want to do that like the same week he dies, though?
Yeah, it's like
how big of an offense is that, and what do you hope to gain out of bringing that up right now?
Especially the way he passed.
You're right, exactly.
It wasn't like he passed from, like say if he had like cancer or something, like he died in a very violent way.
Right.
And it's just not the time right now. But I'm glad that
don't know. That wouldn't change for me. I think anyway somebody passes, and when you're
like no time limit at all.
No, what he died of, whether it was cancer or violence. I just think the classy thing is to give that kind of like time where we do acknowledge. And again, you can always put that caveat in. He was an imperfect man, and I think that is actually something to illustrate and talk about. I do think that conversation needs to happen because everybody thinks there's something special about Nipsey, and I'm sure he's a very special person.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to meet him. I had hoped to actually, but I think what I take important in him is that he's a guy from our community that I'm sure nobody thought was going to be able to do the things he was.
That's why when I heard it, I was coming back from
he's an everyday guy that gained vision through his experiences. He was open to them, he received them, and he ran with them. And I think that is something that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people can do. And what I think they need to take from Nipsey Hussle is that could be me. I can do that for my community. There needs to be more than one. That's the problem. That's why it's such a huge blow, because there's so few people who get that idea to do what he's doing.
With that said, Nipsey Hussle was not the richest person in the world.
He really wasn't.
But
he was making a move.
Thank you.
He was making moves.
So you don't have to be all these rappers that got like a little bit of cheese. They could be helping.
Right.
They ain't helping. They ain't helping because they don't want to help.
Celebrity, what it does is opens doors for you to find ways that you can either use your name, you can use other
visibility.
You can use your clout in a way to open doors where how do I make this money grow and stretch to do this? How do you think foundations sustain themselves? They don't. It's not like Getty has so much money that when he died, the money will never be spent. No, you can have billions of dollars and eventually spend all of it if you're doing the charity work that a lot of those foundations do. Like Getty does a lot of work. Knight Foundation does a lot of work. And Knight does a lot of different stuff. So they have to run like a low-key business. They're a nonprofit that has to make money. The nonprofit doesn't mean you don't make money. You have to make money to keep doing the work you want to do. That's the biggest misconception about them. And so that's what Nipsey was doing. He remember when he sold his mixtape for $100? That was straight gangster. People really respected it. But he's like, I need to get these funds because I got all these ideas I want to do and stuff like that. And so be bold. Have the audacity to be like, I'm going to do
all
this.
All the people that he helped with. All right. I got this new thing. I say hashtag Black Dollars. He helped people put food in their kids' mouths. It's hard to hate on it. It's hard to hate on it. He helped other Black people like you and I put clothes on our backs, socks on our feet, hot water, soap, all that. And that wouldn't be available if he wasn't there. Now, I mean, technically, maybe someone else could have, but he was there to be that kind of.
I don't like to deal with maybe what they could have.
He was there, that's why and he kind of helped out.
To the need to tear down Tupac, I was like, okay, we got this.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere too.
We got this new guy. Nipsey Hussle is great. I'm totally for it.
Why did it seemed to me like that came out of nowhere? Yeah.
Why I gotta bring up Tupac? Tupac died at 25.
Yeah. It seemed like that kind of came out of nowhere.
10 years younger than Nipsey. And just imagine where Nipsey could be. He could be the next Diddy. He could be the next Jay-Z as far as wealth and business and all that. If he had gotten another 10, 15, 20 years, and stuff like that. So that's the thing we'll never know. I imagine there'd be great things. I think I think a lot of people point out how young some people have died. There's a documentary I've watched where they say they look at Tupac's age and then they say, you go to the greats, and I mean the very greats of our community, and you talk about Malcolm X, you talk about Martin Luther King, and if they had died at 25, a lot of stuff that we know them for and we wouldn't have the legacies they have would not have been established if they had died at 25.
Yeah, because especially back then,
I don't know why
you had to put a lot of work in. You had to put a lot of work in back then. Like, because you couldn't just get up and get on the microphone back then. You had to be to a good
And I'm not saying it was
degree.
any easier for Nipsey today, because I ran into an old head like that, and she had this opinion of, we did all that back in the 60s and 70s. And I felt like it was a Boondocks episode almost.
Yeah.
Where Huey is like, Granddad, did you actually protest? Did you?
I can't remember.
I think it was Rowley and Huey.
Yeah, they were like, did you, Mark? Did you get dog sick on you?
And I felt like I was in that moment. I literally thought about that when she was saying that, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to do it."
You know what? I would pause for the cause for my elders, but right now it's Easter Sunday. We ain't gonna do it.
We ain't gonna do it.
We're gonna leave y'all alone. We're just gonna move to the next story. All right, so look, Fox News. We got them out there. Thank you guys for checking Fox News. Black culture. We pushed back and was like, no. We're gonna respect this.
I disagree with that, because I said we need to ignore the.
So just ignore it.
This is something we're going to come back to. I think in every show we have is that people, politicians, the media, everybody is trolling. Politicians are trolling you to distract you from stuff you should be paying attention to. Mm-hmm. There's literally check out the stories, and the one story that's really I saw something about memos, and to keep doing the same thing. That's what's so crazy about it. I said, this is memo dropping, and it's got some crazy hot stuff, and then it starts dominating the news circle. We gotta see the memo. Of course we need to see. They need to release this, and then the memo drops. Ain't nothing in there. I think the last one was about the one I was watching this about was there was some texts that had gone missing, and they said in these missing texts confirmed the existence of a cult conspiracy, blah blah blah, and of course it was started with Fox News, and so then it caught fire with everybody else and stuff like that. I was like, y'all need to stop. I
just thought about this.
Sharing just copying each other. It's kind of when somebody's you give somebody you did the homework, and they're homie's hey, let me get your homework, and you're like, yeah, man, all right, but change some stuff around, and then either they don't change it well at all,
they don't change it at all,
or they copy your mistakes, and that's how the teacher really catches you. That's how teachers catch you when you copy, right? It's not the fact that you got the answers right. It's the fact that you got all the same answers wrong that lets them know you copied somebody and who you copied from. Because that's more telling, right? Yeah. And that's literally what's happening with a lot of the news now. It's they don't even say, hey, we know it's Fox News. Nobody wants to be hip to it. Yeah. Why? Because I think they're they want the clicks first. They're I know I shouldn't trust this.
Now, big shout out to the chat. We got Dog Brother number 1. Woo-hoo. But Dog Brother 1 says they're right, but problem is how sway. Most of us don't see a way or method out of the mundane / expected / tailored way that we live. The fair skin look out for each other with knowledge.
No.
I'll give you half of that.
No, I'm not even giving you half of that.
I see. I know where you're going, but I think there's there's way more Black people that look out for each other than we know, but it's not broadcasted. And it doesn't have a platform.
And you also can't focus on the people who ain't for you. I'm not saying we're perfect. Yeah. I'm not saying we're perfectly unified. I'm not saying that you got to strap together these resources, but I am from deep in the hood. I lived in Watts, Compton. Let me tell you, wasn't a lot out there. I'm an older millennial, okay? I remember before the internet. I went through down
going nuts.
Oregon Trail and all that fun stuff. And my parents, my father was a custodian and my mother was a teacher's assistant some of the time because she had to stay home with these babies because we couldn't afford, for childcare and stuff like that. So I know the hustle. I know what it is, to pick up cans with my family because we need to make ends meet. But you know what my parents did? And my father, education wasn't all that long, and neither was my mother's. Mom's from the deep rural South, where if you want to talk about oppression, she got stories for you for days. And so we are all my shade, okay, or darker. And so I am just of the mind where I've run into people with your thought process in my own neighborhood, and I managed to get out and get a college degree. It is not easy. It's not hard. I've cried. I've gone through depression. I've gone through a lot of bullshit, and I'm happy to share resources. I'm happy to brainstorm with people. If anything I have gotten the hard way, I'm happy to hand over to the next person who will use that knowledge who will know that just because I'm giving you these pro tips doesn't mean it's not going to be work.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I saying the system is fair? No, not at all. Not at all. But we can't use that to be like, oh, well, you know, these people together. Like, do we need greater unity in our community? Of course.
Yep.
Do we have crazy problems that we need to work out? Of course. But that's never going to happen if we just like, oh, well, you know, they got it together. They done had centuries to get ahead of us.
They also didn't have slavery and Jim Crow.
Right.
And institutional racism.
Very familiar with my history. Again, my mother has told me stories
with a topping of colorism
of her childhood that would incense you. Just stuff she's gone through, stuff she's witnessed, stuff done to her out of spite.
Because
you know, it's just
black,
like,
but then she's also a woman.
Yeah, and I was just like,
and if she didn't have any protection,
I should have all the hatred in the world for a certain group of people, you know. And I said, you know, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm on this grind, and I'm going to figure it out because that's what the people before us did during Jim Crow.
You know what?
They figured it out.
All right, back to 90.
Yes,
we need to go.
Yeah, we do.
We need to go.
I have planned on. It's on my little.
Well, it's always overnight. They always do it overnight stuff. And I gotta work.
Right. I know we gotta work.
Tell them to do it on a daytime on a Saturday.
And it's not easy. And I do agree there is a system. I'm never dismissing that, but that system is always going to be there. That's what I realized. I was like, it's not fair that system exists, but I can't waste that kind of energy on a system that's doing its best. And the only way for us to like tip that system is to replace it, to get in there any way you can. You know,
imagine if every rapper at Nipsey's level was doing what Nipsey was doing in their own areas.
Right.
Imagine just with black business
is that because we're so far behind with this generational wealth building, we need kind of like every person to get on board and do it. And we had times in our lives, time periods in our culture where we were more on board of that. But I do think we've never been so apart from each other as we are now. And you have a lot, and we're coming back to it. I feel like we're coming back into another period where we realize we need each other. We're kind of helping each other out. We're helping each other to more. We're coming together and saying, "Hey, I ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. But we're gonna put a little.
But I got time. I got camera, and you got you got an event space,
right? Exactly.
And this person is a DJ, and we can do something.
There's been times I've been on like the red carpet. I went to events, and I've had Michael come along with me. So I was like, "That's what you have to do. Whenever you can reach back, and get you a squad now." And you don't have to go into entertainment. Like whatever you want to do, there's a way to do it. You know, there's people who are buying the Black, I think, in Atlanta, and there's a group of people doing it.
Yeah,
you know.
Here's a pro tip for all my people out there. Y'all might not have tons of money, but many of you might not know. But all of the New York teams are owned by a conglomerate. They're not owned by a single owner. So you, a couple of your cousins, their friends, y'all can become a conglomerate. Now, your little, 500 with they 1,000 and this person 1,500, this person 700, and all y'all money together.
We're not saying you got this money in the bank, but you got to save for it.
But now all y'all together can become a company and buy an investment property. Now you are a real estate company. Now you guys are buying and selling real estate. Now you couldn't do it alone. But you guys have gotten together. We're not financial advisors. But I'm just saying.
I'm saying
you can put your money together.
I come from like a working class, and I do working class family, and we managed still to do trips and stuff like that. But it did come down. We're collecting cash. So me and my sister would find things to sell. We would go around our neighborhood. Like we live in the hood, and we still find like older folks that would pay us to do their gardening. I remember doing gardening for people. And like a lot of old folks just want company. They just want you around the house. So if you go down the street, like
she's right though. I remember.
I've been hustling from a young age, and I ain't where I want to be real honest. I ain't got there yet. I'm still working on it. I've definitely had some periods in my life that was not working out well, and it was a real struggle. And been at the bottom, like, how the hell am I going to get myself out of this hole? Like, I've been homeless at least twice. So, yeah.
I was close.
Twice. I've been homeless twice and been close a few other
like waking up in the morning or coming back to your apartment hoping that there wasn't a sign on your door.
Right.
That's how close I got.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, please don't let there be no sign on my door.
So, so I hear you. I know you're frustrated.
And dog brother number one says, agreed. Just saying we need more people who look like us, bringing this knowledge to the ones that don't have it. Y'all speaking truth. And
that's actually, literally why we started.
Yeah, that's why we started this show. And we're saying that like whatever area you're in, if you know kids are looking for something,
right?
Or like
I love talking to younger people. I'm not old, but I will talk to 19-year-olds that are like trying to do games. Yeah. I've read people's comics for them. I've read over stuff. They're like, hey, well, check this out. What do you think? Yeah. And gave them whatever pro tip, because I may not be an expert in my field. I'm maybe not at the top. I'm definitely not top of my game yet. But every step forward means you've learned something that people a step behind you don't know. Mm-hmm. And turn around and let them know, like, hey, here's a pitfall with this step. Go around it. Yeah,
there's and search as much as you can in your areas, like especially for young kids. Because I remember, and it almost looked like a light went off for this lady. This girl that I went to church with way back. Her son. She was complaining that he would always bring home stray cats and stray dogs. He always had something, and I was like, well, have you ever thought of looking for like a vet in the area or like
that
the zoo? Now the zoo is kind of far. The zoo is about 20 miles. But I was like, have you found somewhere where he could go and be like, look, here's the deal. You can't bring home any more strays. But after school and on the weekend, I will take you to the vet and you can hang out with them. You can impress some of them.
And
why can't your son be a black vet?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I've had to catch relatives
like,
myself,
you know,
where their child is expressing. That's how children express interest in something that could. So there's things that, we're so busy grinding and surviving. Yeah. Sometimes we miss that. And that's why it takes a village. You know? Nobody's telling you how to raise your kid, but I'm like, hey, I just observed your child has this extreme immense interest in X. And X can be a lot of different things, whether it's animals or computers.
Every city has tons of free stuff going on. Right. Now you got to dig to find it.
Right. Yep. Even in a big city like this, we know there's tons of stuff going on in our city.
And stuff that I don't even know about.
But you don't know about it. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm like, that'd be a good newsletter or like a good zine or something, like where you're just compiling, like, here's stuff going on in the city.
Here's stuff that's
if
free.
You're trying to level up, like people call it level up or something like that. Like, and here's all this opportunity going on. And you have to, it's going to take us a lot of time to sift and find all of it, because there's so many different departments over it. LA, Greater Los Angeles means it's all the cities around Los Angeles. Yeah. And there are a lot of them. What people don't understand about the landscape is that there's no distance in between cities here. There's a ton of cities just sitting
beside each other.
Right beside each other. Like literally the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles, there's very few of them that exist anywhere within a 20-mile radius of Los Angeles downtown, like Los Angeles proper. And so that means you have all these different city governments that are doing all these different programs.
You got LA City, LA County, then you got Culver City, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills.
And they're all right next to each other. And so they're very close. So sometimes cities will opt out of doing a program because they know the city right next to them is doing it. Yeah. And so it makes it kind of complicated. And a lot of times it's not limited. You don't have to be a resident of that particular city. I run into very few programs that are like that here in Los Angeles County, where you have to live somewhere to get that service. So it's crazy, but I that's something I love talking about. So, if you got an idea, hit me up.
Yeah, let us know. And I can definitely, being the fact that I have exposure to like real estate stuff, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, there's many cases where you and your five friends or so could put y'all money together, and all of a sudden,
and you look at it as an investment property. Don't look at something you can live in. Because I didn't like that. Like sometimes I feel like and you have to be able to vet something to see if it's a scam or not. And so I know there's this one person who likes going around Black communities on Facebook and like, yeah, y'all can buy a house together. I was like, but people are talking about houses they want to live in.
Yeah.
Now,
you're not
don't get together with strangers to live in the same house. Please don't do that.
Or put that money together and invest in a company like
buy a venture property where you're buying like a multiplex, and then you know there's so many units. And so you can split the money up. You got 3, 4, 5 people. You can split that money up. You split the responsibility up because owning a property and being a landlord is tough, y'all.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
You can also find people to invest in. So, like, say Kim. Kim always been dope with the confection skills. Her baking is on point. She been wanting to open a restaurant. You don't know how to cook, but you and a couple friends can put some money together. Y'all make this business. Y'all invest, and she get what she want. Y'all get what y'all want. Exactly. And guess what? Black dollars.
Yeah, exactly. And y'all guys can all use your strengths, right?
Yeah.
Kim might be great at cooking, but she don't know nothing about business. She's not interested in the business.
Yeah. So she just wants to cook.
She just wants to cook. And you're like, we got it. But you got to sit her down. These are expectations. Get your plans together. This is what you're going to have to do.
And next thing you know, you got a storefront.
And you got business. Like communication, write all that shit down. Get it straightened out, like what the expectations are, what an ideal is going to be, and then proceed forward with whatever business you want. But yeah, definitely you got to create a squad based on your strengths. We need someone to do X. We need someone to do Y. We need someone to do A. So I think that's what we need to do. And I feel that spirit is happening. I go to a lot of like kickbacks, get-togethers.
Yeah.
They're all about bringing a lot of Black creatives together to do just that. Like, hey, it takes a team to get this stuff off the ground.
Yeah.
Come through, tell me what you do, and we're going to figure it out, because when we create our own shit, they can't ignore us.
Nope.
And the thing is, we need to own our culture.
Yeah.
Our culture is American culture. Our culture is the thing that makes so much money for other people.
Yeah.
We have to figure out a way to stop selling stuff off. Or if we sell it off and get that money, we have to then reinvest it in the next project.
Yeah.
It can't be a let me go bling, bling, flash, flash, and before you know it, you're broke. And I've literally heard that story many a time.
It can get rough. Now, with that said, guys, thank y'all for watching. Y'all in here. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Now, if you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send Laura Ingram after you.
Oh my goodness! No,
you don't want that. All right, so hit that thumbs up.
Nobody wants that.
Share this out to your people. But we got some other news.
Right.
See, you might have heard of Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. She's pretty good. She's actually real good. But you know who's better? Oh, coming soon. Kim Kardashian, Esquire.
Well, and see, I wanted to talk about this story because
I know you hit me with it. So.
People are beating down Kim Kardashian because she was inspired. I did not take the time to look up that woman's name, but the woman that she was responsible for getting clemency from Donald Trump. She was inspired by it. She wanted to pursue law. And so now she's doing an apprenticeship, and so she can get the hours necessary for her to qualify to take the bar.
Yeah.
So, and people are like, stay in your lane, you're privileged this. And I'm like, this is the time where I'm like, let her have it.
Yeah.
This takes work. She has to pass that bar regardless, because if she tries to practice without it, it's illegal.
Yeah.
One. Then you have to pass bar, and you have to be a good lawyer. Like, this is literally going to be based on your skills. Like,
now, do you think since we know that education can be bought,
right?
Do you think this might be a case where even if she fails the bar, she gonna pass the bar?
No, that's like I wouldn't say no, because we have educational scandals, but as a rule of thumb, that's
the bar is a whole nother thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bar is
it's like paying, but also it's a professional degree.
Yeah.
It's not a, I don't even want to say that. I'm not going to say that. It's a professional degree, because there's no need to say that. It's a professional degree, and so getting the degree means nothing if you can't do the work.
True.
There are people who get medical degrees and they're terrible doctors. And guess what? Nobody's going to
get
them.
no work.
They end up having to get like a different job doing something else. So you just getting your ass through medical school, which is very expensive. You just spent like almost $200,000.
Because this ain't scrub.
Exactly.
Right?
Just so
this is house.
You have to find a job doing something else. And like, what are you qualified to do after spending so many years specializing in something?
Yeah.
So with law, if you're not good at practicing law or whatever she hopes to do with it, if you're not good at it, I don't think it won't matter.
You know what might be a good look for her?
I think this is so different than most degrees you get. This is a professional degree where you have to perform.
Yeah. Well, you know what this might be a good look for? She gets the degree or she passes the bar so that she can now be like the expert commentary or whatever.
We already had a conversation,
she's opening another door
about commentating.
But maybe she's opening another door because she's been, it seems like Kim is trying to pivot away. I'm not saying she's still posing. She's still posing. But maybe she's like, hey, I want to go in this vein and go over here.
Is all, like we talked about this maybe before we got on camera. Is the acumen, the business acumen of the Kardashian clan is undeniable.
Yeah.
You may not like what they're selling. They definitely steal. I'm giving you that up front. when it comes to ideas, culture vultures for days.
Yeah.
However,
they've been stealing from Black culture since they started breathing.
They be stealing everything, including the men.
And we'll get to y'all comments. I see y'all coming in.
Jokes. And so my thing is, if they want to pivot away from that and get into something else, because all their careers are based on their looks. And we all know looks fade.
Yeah.
And you might be tired having it sucked in, pushed out.
But they got some dope doctors.
They got dope doctors.
Because when you showed me them pictures, I was like, whoa.
Right.
I was like, they deserve every penny.
So I'm saying, like, people constantly belittle her for being the supposed airhead. Like, we don't know these people. We don't know.
Yeah, she might be super smart.
There's an intelligence there for it, because again, you could be given the same lemons and not be able to make that kind of lemonade with it. Yeah. So I'm going to give them where credit is due. Is it a business model I want to follow or want someone else close to me to follow? No.
I think it's weird because the business model is being practiced on your own daughters, which is kind of a weird situation when you look at it. Like, would I exploit my daughter's sex tape to be able to? I don't know. I don't think I could. But with that said, look at what it's become.
Right.
You gotta.
Right.
It's
so
weird.
I think the show. I don't know. I feel like because the show itself, I don't think it's connected to the mixtape. I mean.
Okay. Well, no.
Sex tape.
Yeah. Well, they kind of like grew it and then became like the
I think that mattered a lot. I don't understand this whole sex tape phenomenon anyway, because there's people who have purposely had sex tapes to do a Kim Kardashian, because it started off with Kim. It started off with Paris.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was so bad. It was called One Night in Paris.
I get it.
It was so bad.
I get it.
But it started off with her, and the thing is, I watched the documentary on her, and she had been doing like stuff for like pictures she got where she was more for the fact that she was with this wealthy trust fund baby going to the right parties. Yeah. That's what happened to her. So sometimes I think the sex tape,
it just kind of blew her up a little bit.
Maybe
because she already had the connections, and then she got like she trended.
I feel like it's like kind of like chicken and egg kind of thing, because I would argue that maybe people wouldn't pay as much attention if she wasn't already doing magazine covers and And so maybe it looked like it to me. It should have been like a blurb, but for whatever reason, people took it and ran with it. Yeah, because it was like Kim was kind of like on TV, sort of, because she was on with Paris's TV show. Right. And it was like, oh yeah, we know Kim. Man, and then the sex tape came, and it was like, boom. We have to take a moment for the irony. Oh man. Because Kim is much bigger than Paris Hilton now. And Paris Hilton was atrocious on that show. I don't know what it was like
it
in
was
real
rough.
life, but she
rough.
was so terrible to Kim on that show because Kim
rough.
was her assistant.
It wasn't a good look.
Man, was it bad. So I don't know what it really is in real life, but based on the show,
it wasn't a good look.
It wasn't a good look.
Now, quick to the chat. Thomas D says, check out Chris Haskins' YouTube if you're looking for real estate info. He says, shout out to Lil Nas X, Old Town Road. Yes, that jam knocks straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been in that valley. You ain't been up off your porch. You know what I'm saying? All right. And Tiffany Little, what's up? Welcome. Said she might have been a lawyer earlier if it wasn't for Pimp Jenner. Yeah, because maybe she was always interested in law, but sex tape happened and she was just like, hey, I'm gonna ride this wave. So Big Dog Brother number 1, he said, I ain't gonna hate on her hustle, but she turned Kanye West into Kanye Kardashian. Unforgivable.
I don't think that's unforgivable because that was a choice he made.
Unforgivable.
Right. That's not what that song says.
That's what she is.
Okay, you're making a new jam. Okay, I got you.
Hot on the top 100 charts.
I feel like from what I've read, Kanye pursued Kim even when Kim wasn't giving him the time of day.
Yeah.
And he literally waded into the wings.
Here's the thing.
We got to talk about black men chasing women who ain't good for them. Because that was a choice.
No. We got to talk about black men. I know it's not all. My wife is black. Her mama black, her daddy black. So not all of y'all. But there's a contingent of black men out there that for some reason are so enamored with like these kind of I guess exotic women where it's like, she's not white, she's not black, she's something. And it's like they're going crazy over them. And I'm like, okay, Kim is alright, but I'm not the level at which guys go crazy over women like Kim Kardashian or Amber Rose or any of these like kind of like ambiguous chasing labeled women to be able to position themselves
like in race.
Yeah, they want to kind of present themselves as ambiguous or exotic to kind of place themselves above black women while kind of taking black culture and taking black women's features and just putting it on a European, stage.
I mean, this is well documented. Yeah. Like white womanhood and the adjacent, which is bleeds into colorism. Colorism is all about trying to be as close to white because white is right. Yeah. That's what colorism is all about. Sure. And it's an ism for a reason. And then we have a long history in this country where white womanhood was weaponized against both black men and women. It was used to degrade black women and used to punish and be a reason why you could kill a black man for as much as looking in the direction of a white woman. And so it creates, this mystique. It's forbidden fruit. And people are weird. Weird where they want what they can't have. Like, what was that black boxer back in the day? That's all he dated was white women. He was making a statement, y'all. And so you get now to the future, steam ahead to the future, and now it's mixed up. We're trying to be including each other. We're trying to diversify. We're trying to connect to people who don't necessarily look to us in backgrounds. And will love happen in that situation? Of course. Yeah. Of course. But now we have like the baggage of our history as we do in so many other aspects. This is not limited to this situation. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff when we're talking about representation, when we're talking about like the Oscars or award shows or whatever, discriminating against us. We don't want pity awards. Nah. We just think when we do dope shit, it should be acknowledged. And we're not getting that. Yeah, we're not getting that. And stuff like that. And stuff, or we get offensive stuff like with the Oscars this year, where they do the Green Book, and it has has nothing to do with the actual Green Book and why it was created. History, and then you make the lead of that the white racist man. Like, because I remember when we're supporting in our own history and story. Mahershala Ali, when he got the award, I was like, "Cool, he got an award," and it said supporting. I was like, "Supporting? How is he supporting? He's a starter." Exactly, but we don't want to. Don't get right. But like our part is. There's like this is not and because the people are quick to paint you as like me. I'm a Black woman, so I'm somehow bitter because I'm trying to point out some facts and stuff like that.
It's
and even though I'm taking a very nuanced position where yes, you could have a partner of another race and be fully in love. You know, you met that person in college as you're developing, you got all this stuff you're into. Yeah. What's going on?
We got Doriel, $5 in the super chat. What up? What up? Yo, thank you for rolling through. And it's good to see you. You know, happy Easter. Get your Easter on. You know what I'm saying? With us. Right. Now, once you finish your statement, there's some people in the chat. I see y'all.
Exactly.
I see y'all. But you're not bitter.
But yeah. Because people are quick to call you that. And you're like, no, this is a well-documented history. Like, my guy, did you not get, like, do we not know of Black people getting hung up, put in jail, beat down? I know I have a personal story like that where somebody accused great of mine of having some kind of relationship with a white woman and he lost his life for it. So how quick we are to forget that and not understand that we do internalize a lot of this bullshit. Internalized racism is so real. That's why we perpetuate colorism.
True.
You know? That's why you get dudes like, oh, I like you. You cute. You do all this.
Like Kanye,
dark skinned
dudes
women.
like Pharrell, dudes like those football players that were on IG. Thought Crowns put it out where they were like, toast to light skinned babies. Mm-hmm. It was just like, y'all.
It's not necessary.
It's like suckers.
You can date outside your race without putting the other race
down.
And sometimes even extra. If you're not doing the put down, you gotta acknowledge that sometimes, like, why are you dating that person? Like, if you give me anything to do with like, she's just so fine. Like, look at those features, and so because I don't like that when that's done to me. I don't like to do that because I've been pursued.
Dudes be killing me with it.
Pursued by people who are not Black. And every other compliment was like, my Nubian this, I love your complexion, ooh, your hair.
My Nubian.
Right.
My Nubian.
Y'all don't know the struggle.
Was he white?
I've dated.
Please tell me he was white and he said Nubian. Please.
Of course he was, but whatever.
Yo, all right, white people, stop using Nubian.
Exactly. They think they compliment you, but like I felt like he could literally replace me with any Black woman and he'd be happy.
Yeah,
that's what that felt like. That felt like, hey, oh, you're just here because you want me with a Black woman.
Yeah,
and me as a person, the things I'm bringing to the table don't really matter as long as I'm Black.
But you're a Nubian queen.
And then you get the things that's like, oh, you know, I would love to date you, know, because I like my women sassy. What? I'm not sassy. I'm not difficult at all. I like to work stuff out. I like to do shit that works. I'm big on communication and compromise. So you're not going to get that because I feel like this type of sassy you're talking about means a lot of work I don't want to do. That's like a lot of emotional labor.
there are Black women that are sassy, but
definitely
it's become.
But that's no shade. I say for me, that's exhausting.
It's become this trope.
It really is. Yeah, it's a trope. And like I've definitely had people try to date me, and they make so many assumptions, which is why I think eventually, as I got older, I became more and more interested in just dating Black people because I didn't have to go. So I definitely have a preference for chocolate because you get tired, and then there's people who put up like I've read articles about say like Asian women and they have white husbands and the white husbands do not support them when racist shit goes down and stuff like that. And then they're having this crisis of like, what do I do when my own spouse won't come to my rescue? And these are the dangers of dating outside your race.
Asian woman.
Yes.
You know what you should have did?
No, I'm not.
I ain't gonna go there. I'm just saying.
These problems that people ignore in interracial.
America has shown you. America has shown.
I just bring that up because it's a problem for everybody. I think who dates outside the race. It's a problem that everybody's having because I definitely have lots of Asian friends, particularly women, and the fetish that they do with them
weird.
I was like, girl, I don't know how you deal. And like everybody does it to them, including Black men when they're trying to holler at them. They think they're submissive.
I would show the name, but since I got 2,000 subscribers, they ain't paying me.
But yeah, so I was like, this is like a real issue, but people get in their feelings and get defensive real quick because they're thinking I'm trying to police who they're dating. I'm saying no. evaluate why you're dating that person. Make sure it's not because
I'm glad that you're Nubian. And you're on my, I'm glad. Thank you for being Nubian.
Because I've been there. I was like, the fetish does not feel good. I don't know how people put up with it. And some people ignore that you're fetishizing them because they're there for the money. So it's almost like two wrongs are going down. Like, I'm a gold digger, and I know you're only here because I'm white or non-black. But hey, I'm about to ride this all the way up. And then when your relationship falls apart, you're like, I don't know what happened. Can't trust nobody. And you're like, well, you might have wanted to pay more attention to why she was really into you. Like, what those things. And also another double standard where I hate getting the story about, well, Black women didn't want me when I was 15.
Okay, let's go and put this down. Now,
that one.
Black women did not want me in high school. I asked out pretty much every Black woman I could find. They all said no. Guess what? I'm married to a Black woman. So I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
But
I want to hear
it.
Times change. Wait. Things change.
But my point is to that.
High school, you're talking about, I don't know, like
depending on how old you are.
0.00001% of Black women in the world.
Right.
Like,
but my point to that is that they could get rejected by every other color as many times.
Thank you.
And it's just a challenge. Oh no, I just got to come back at this.
Look,
they never like, oh, you know why I got rejected by the Asian woman, I got rejected by that white woman. Never gonna talk to them again. Never does that happen.
Nah, look. Two things.
So there's an issue there.
Two things.
There's an issue there.
Stay up out their face. That's the first thing. Stay up out their face. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you can't use your comb, don't bring her home. Now, moving on. Give Me Shelter. What's up? Nice to see you in the chat. Give Me Shelter said, hey, weren't you on AfterBuzz TV, the strain you coined bald head of the CDC? Yes, that was me. Bald head of the CDC. The strain was the first after show that I did on AfterBuzz. Shouts out to Stephen Lemieux. He brought me out. But yes, that's where I put up bald head of the CDC because he was bald headed and he worked for the CDC. So big shout out, big dog brother number one, says now we get into the good stuff. He says Jack Johnson was the boxer you're talking about. He said, like I tell them all, if you're born in America, you ain't exotic.
Right. I like that. I like that. The exotic thing is not cute. Even at a young age, I never found that cute. I was like, it was creepy. It was weird. You're like, I feel like you're gonna hurt me. Yeah. I was always a little afraid when people got into like exotic land. Yeah, it's alarming to me.
Tiffany Little, big shout out to the chat. Tiffany Little says, this is why the lion has to tell the story instead of the hunter. So it's interesting. I like how you phrase it. I see where you're going. But Thomas D said, yo, my sister, my Nubian sister. My Nubian queen. Like, let me guess.
It's even a little much when Black dudes.
Hold up, was it a white guy and did he have dreads too?
No, he didn't.
There's something. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Y'all gonna be mad. There's something inherently eye-rollable about dreads on someone who shouldn't have dreads. I'll say that. There's something just inherently eye-rollable.
Telling people what they can do with their hair. All right.
I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying when they do it, it just makes me want to roll my eyes. I'm just saying that.
I don't put any energy to that because I feel some kind of way because I think I've only seen it once or twice executed by someone who has who's non-Black, who has done it well, where it looks like actual locks instead of some dreaded mess. That's my thing, is that your take on locks is dreaded mess. And that's insulting. Bad. That's insulting. I was like, you're clearly not doing that right. I understand it's hard for you to do, but stinky clump mess is not locks. I was like, so that's insulting.
Big shout out to Dark and Chocolate. She said, girl, them non-Black men and their fetishes. Right. I don't know. Look.
That's not cute.
And that sound like, oh, you're just so sassy. It's just like,
and they pull out. The thing is, when you're in that situation.
You've been watching a lot of TV.
A lot of TV. Yeah. A lot of TV. Like, they be dropping so many references. You be like, oh my God. Like, do you have any of your own language you formulated that doesn't exist in a rap song, from a movie?
Yeah.
From a, it's a whole nother world. So I am not shitting on interracial relationships. I'm shitting on like that fetish bullshit.
Yeah.
Where
it's crap.
The minute you depart from that and you just want to be a whole person,
yeah,
they lose interest. They can't handle it. They're like, why you gotta be like that all of a sudden? Then you a bitch.
Yeah, and then Dog Brother number 1, says they treat us like a novelty. Quote, I like black men / women because they put in random trait mannerism here.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I like black men because such and such.
And me, like, right. Me, I'm a sapiosexual, and that means I'm somebody who gets stimulated by, you know, intellectuals.
Yeah.
What's in your noggin?
Arouse my intellect as well as my loins.
It's exactly. If you can't get this to fire off, it's not happening any other way. Like those years are behind me. I'm proud of my whole years though. Don't doubt that.
I don't know if I say I'm proud of them.
I'm proud of mine. I was smart.
Give Me Shelter says, I can relate on how hard it is to be fetishized by everyone, even other black people for having rich skin. Like what the what? And it's like, yeah, it's like, what the what? Really? Seriously? Even y'all? Even my peoples? My peoples?
Yeah, this is what this skin look like. Now I'm curious.
Like, what's your skin here?
What's the skin like? I got this rich skin. I know this melanin popping. You know,
right.
And people sliding up to you like, my brother, what is your skin regimen like? Just in your face. Like you got other dudes coming up to you like, my brother.
It's like,
you're like, you don't even know what
I don't know. Like. I'm like, I wash my face. You know,
no, that would be rough. I find it a little hilarious. Oh, you know what? You should watch Random Acts of Flyness?
Oh yeah, I still gotta peep that.
It's fantastic.
I peep that.
Terrence Nance is the creator's name, brother from New York, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he's weird. I love him for it.
He's weird.
Like, just like me. We're weird together. I'm gonna build a whole weird tribe. That's gonna be my new thing.
He's weird.
I'm gonna like if I ever make it to the part where I got like a fan base, we gotta be some kind of type of weirdos. Yeah. Something like that. I'm gonna work it out. Weird stuff all the time. We're all about that weird, embracing our weird. I love being weird. I love when other people are weird. There is good and bad weird.
Yes,
put that out there.
Weird and
but he has a skit in the show of his. And I think you probably find it online because they come up and put a lot of them online. I hope he gets another season, but I haven't heard anything. And it's pretty much, I think the skit, the social commentary is like black men showing each other love and affection. But it's also a commentary of like how they kind of do that to women and how that's a little not okay. So there's these two things he's like seems like he's addressing. Mm-hmm. And so it's a little weird. But you should check that out just for shits and giggles.
All right, so we wrapped that up. Thank you guys. Thank you for chilling with us. So we've had a little bit of love on them shell toes. Little Adidas came through. Donald Glover.
Oh my God.
Linked up with your girl Monique.
So Monique is back in it, and I'm gonna leave with Monique because I know we've had our disagreements, Monique. Because you watch the show.
Monique watches the show, so we know.
And stuff. I've always loved her in like movies.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her talent.
Yeah, her talent is great. And so she was in these, she makes these ads. So Donald Glover and Adidas dropped.
She just roasts Donald through the whole thing. It
was glorious though. You gotta check out these ads for some jokes. And so they're vignettes. So vignettes are like very short, kind of like they got like a whole story, like it's I think
like in six, small, yes, like 6 little stories
seconds,
or something like that.
Something like that. So a whole little story happens in like 10 seconds, which is totally doable. I've been practicing, and they're like really hard to put together, but totally doable to do. And so they set up a joke, and it was so funny because they have like little, some of them have social commentary in them, and then other ones are just funny, and stuff like that. And they have like cultural relevancy. I found that the one called Polenta.
Yeah, I think it was Polenta.
Actually, I love this, how the layers in it, because there's an article I came across right after seeing the article I shared with you about how grits are showing up in fancy restaurants, and it's like giving you a timeline how grits became this started off as this meal of poverty. Yeah, but that happens to a lot of our dishes. A lot of the dishes we get this for. My mother will literally tell you that we ate this because it was cheap to eat. Now when I go to the store to buy it, it's so expensive because people have discovered kale. I remember eating kale all the time, and in college and stuff like that.
Like, and because he made this comment, he's like, this is biscotti. She was like, boy,
what? But she was like, but so her thing was they were okay. I don't want to spoil it. Just go watch it. It's really funny.
But they make a commentary on like fine dining.
Fine dining.
They make a commentary on like living in like ritzy areas.
Yes, exactly.
It's a lot of fun.
But everything comes down to like kind of dissing. I don't know. And he's like just kind of sort of like aware, but at the same time oblivious. Like I love his reactions to him. He's literally like in a moment where he just, I don't got nothing to say to that.
It's like life with Monique.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's like Monique is just roasting them.
Exactly. It's circling like it's like her house and like a bin that she's at and stuff like that. And I'm just loving it. I was like, man, I am ready for Monique to come back in a big way.
Yo, Thomas D said Monique fried Donald Glover. Yeah, she did, man. It's funny, but what's great about Donald Glover is he's able to be like, yo, I got this deal. Let's do this deal with Adidas, and just make fun of me the whole time.
I did peep that, this is something that, people, okay, so I was just talking about this online. Literally, it was just coming up because I forget what my friend said to like kick this whole narrative off to me. I said, Donald Glover has an uncanny way, despite all the accolades he's already earned. Like he's a well-established A-list celebrity. Yeah. Who does not necessarily get treated in that light. He's not seen in that light. And she's like, and my friend's like, she's clearly strikes me as like a super Donald Glover fan. So she's like, well, he did this, he did that. I said, no.
I know that. I'm
aware that.
We love Donald Glover.
That's my thing. Because you run into people be like, don't know what you're talking to. And then even the articles writing about this ad, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, this is all brand.
Have you seen Atlanta? Atlanta season 2? Right. Have you seen the script that he put out for Deadpool? Right. I still wish that we could at least get an animatic.
These ads are much more like you can find the script online. I even found somebody online slowly trying to put the script together. They're animating it, and they got voice actors and everything. So they're trying to make it happen. So they did a rough draft of like the early drawings and the voice acting. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I hope you do it. But it's a lot more like the Deadpool script. It has jokes, but the jokes are based on current, very recent events. And like literally, I checked the date of that article. It had just dropped. So it's like maybe a week old or something like that, like when these were probably being made.
Yeah,
because they was crazy.
Because they were talking about like Donald Glover's schedule or something like that, and they couldn't work it out because the schedule was so busy. And he was like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. And so he dropped that one. It's like, I had time, and everybody was like, "Donald got time today."
And after reading that script, what I think it was is Donald was probably going a little too far for the comfortability of Marvel.
That's what it really was.
And Marvel was
Marvel is a part of Disney, and they were just like, whoa.
They were like, yes, we know this is on FX, but this is you got to tie this back in. And Donald was probably like, well, I'm big enough, and I don't need this.
Is Deadpool owned by? Not every Marvel character is owned by.
Yeah, at that time, Deadpool was owned by Fox at that time. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. So maybe Fox wasn't down with it. Right. Maybe Fox wasn't down with it, but
Marvel does this.
Yeah, because I forgot. Yeah.
At that time,
because that's before the deal happened. So Fox, Deadpool was still Fox's at that time. But Donald Glover came out. He was like, no, I have no problem writing the script.
And I was like, and I love how he was like, I just want to be honest. And I think that was his, like, I want you to be honest. Like, you couldn't handle what I was going to write, but it was so funny. It was funny. I would have made time to watch that cartoon.
Some of it hurt.
But it was still all funny. It was still like funny. Really well done. Like, super impressive. So I don't know, like the constant surprise. So he keeps getting like the brilliant genius thing, which I don't have a problem with it. You know, he's very consistent. There are times where I'm like, this didn't quite hit for me. Like I'm a good enough fan where I can do that. I'm not a stan, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, where I'll be like, that didn't quite hit for me.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead and enjoy it.
But he's been pretty consistent. For like ever since that he came on my radar. But see, he came on my radar. I never watched Community. My friend watched Community.
I like Community. I watched Community.
I never watched Community, but I saw his stand-up, the one where he does the bit about taking a dump in the toilet at Home Depot.
Right.
That's the one where he came on my radar.
Oh, okay.
And ever since then, he's been solid for me.
Right. But I still think he has this like weird underdog status that sticks to him. And people are all like, oh man. Like same thing that happened with Coachella. When he came out, people were like surprised. And I love how he led into that with all these disses, like people doubting him. Like there's this constant thing that he's like, if you know, you ever worry, like a lot of artists, what happens is they get comfortable, they make it. Yeah. And then the comfort starts to set in, and then they find that it's harder and harder to create because they had certain things in their life pushing them to create certain ways that they got the information. I think Drake, like it doesn't even have to be that dramatic. Drake talked about how a lot of his music came from driving around his city at night. And and we all noticed the difference in quality of his music because he's been driving around. And so I forget, I read an interview.
Because now he's in a situation where
he Drake can't be out by
drive around. He'd be getting followed by paparazzi or whatever.
Right, exactly. So I was like, your creation process has literally been interrupted, and you find a lot of artists, struggling
to find a new one.
The second half of their careers after they've become established to continue to create. And I said, that's so crazy. I don't think Don is going to have that problem because people just won't fully embrace. Yeah. He can't fully make it because there's always somebody who just needs to be converted. Like I've never seen the amount of people who constantly need to be converted for him.
But you're right. Donald Glover, it's weird. He's A-list, but somehow like it's like he's A-list because like everybody knows him, but and the popularity doesn't seem the way other celebrities
bond over him. Other celebrities, they got it. They're like, oh my goodness.
And it's like the fame doesn't seem to follow because the talent's there and his work ethic
in the weirdest way where people will do weird things. But it's still I see a lot of like, oh my goodness, he can do X. I'm like, where you been? Where you? I was like, I'm not gonna fight people because I've had full out conversations where he wasn't even like, again, I'm not a stan, but like when you say something, so I was like, but Kim Kardashian, I'm definitely not. I will argue I'm not even a fan of those. Yeah. But when you say something like, oh, stay in your lane, and she can't.
It's like she should be able to go to school. I mean, she should be able to be a lawyer if she wants to be a lawyer.
If she wants to do
Is it weird? Sort of, kind of, maybe, but I mean, hey.
But again, like maybe not. She doesn't want to be known for her looks forever and a day. Yeah. Maybe she wants to show that she's more. Maybe she's tired of the joke.
Even though she did bring that thing in to see her family, the whole time she was like, "And this is my child." Here are my children playing.
That's years and years of training.
I know.
That's not going to turn off overnight.
I'm like, this is not regular Kim. No. Where is the sweatpants and a dirty T-shirt Kim? All right, that's regular Kim.
I don't even know if that Kim exists. But again, that's my thing. It's
where's
like,
laundry day Kim?
People should be allowed to like grow, change, and you accept the growth. You
accept that growth.
The level up. And stuff like that. And I feel like people are always kind of like, and like he has a joke about that from the stand-up where he says, where it comes to like, he'll take a break from acting or, he'll be in like a hiatus because shows go on hiatus and stuff like that. And then come back and people be like, oh, do you remember how to act? Do you remember how to? He's like, it's the only profession. It's weird because he's like, and I feel like that's like, so he had a joke about that. And that's what I do.
Yeah, it's like,
I remember the other part of the joke. So he's like, well, you wouldn't question somebody who makes sandwiches for a living if they forgot how to make a sandwich or something like that. That was the other side of the joke.
Like they had a deli, then they closed the deli, they opened up. I don't know, man. Still know where the cheese goes.
Right, right. And so he looks like he's struggled with that, like, since the beginning of his career.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it is weird because I know people, I've gotten them, like, people just like trash. I'm like, whoa. And then they'll be like bringing up all kinds of accusations. I'm like, well, where
have you watched Atlanta?
Yeah.
Like,
I know people who are unimpressed.
Really? You know what? We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Because we love Atlanta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We love Atlanta.
And big shout out to Sade. Sade, besides Instagram, I ain't seen you in forever, all right? But look, when Atlanta come back, you gotta come back.
She's definitely on the come up.
Yeah.
So Sade was
I taught her everything she knows
when we were doing. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I taught her everything she knows. Amazing director, amazing actress. I just, I molded her into an amazing artist.
I want no part of this. Just so you know, I'm not co-signing.
She's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad she's my protege. No,
Okay.
she's super dope. But look, when Atlanta comes back, you gotta come back. All right.
Okay.
I know you do. I know you gallivanting.
Yeah.
All right. I know you doing things.
She might be free. It's gonna take so long. It seems like for this next season to come back. But season 3.
We'll see.
And for those watching Insecure, its 4 seasons also been pushed back. So yeah,
understandable.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
we got one more thing. This is celebratory.
What is
this is the last thing I want to end on.
What?
Netflix has many shows. Netflix has many movies.
Yeah.
Netflix even has many musical performances. But the top performance that has just been added is Beyonce Homecoming.
Right.
And look, there ain't gonna be no homecoming hate here. All right.
Right.
All right. Beyonce held it down at Coachella.
But
there's only
is
still
one other performance in our heart.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I listened to Beyonce beforehand, but I don't think I had bought an album. I definitely hadn't tried to even go to a concert.
Because it's too expensive.
Well, actually, no. She goes on her way to make affordable tickets.
Really?
Yeah, she has like.
Because I looked online and it was like 100. Well, like starting at 100.
No, you have to sign up for a thing so you can get a pre-sale. No, you don't have. Wait. Let me explain to you. You have to sign up for the pre-sale, not because the tickets aren't really available to everybody on Ticketmaster, but that's to beat the bots or higher resellability for the tickets. People just get the tickets. So she has, like, if you want to sit in her nosebleed section, it's $20.
Okay.
And then 40, and then it goes on down. So
so you can get in the door.
You can get in the door, and like my thing is like even to go pretty close, like halfway up to the stage, the tickets are really reasonable. So I mean, she does more work to make the affordability than anybody else I know.
Wow.
But
maybe I was looking at the wrong because I remember the last time she came to LA. I looked online and I was like,
same tickets when she was at the Rose Bowl. And the problem is, I did not. I even signed up. I went to her thing to sign up on the thing to get the notice, and then I took my time going over to Ticketmaster to get the tickets. And by the time I got there, the tickets have been bought and already put up for resale.
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying to get ahead of. It's not that Beyonce tickets are expensive. You're trying to get ahead of the scalpers. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this story because we already know Beychella was everything.
Yeah, it's bomb.
They should have canceled
Black excellence.
They should have canceled Coachella afterwards because we good. Yeah, nobody's going to top it. Though I did enjoy Janelle Monáe's performance, Childish Gambino's performance. Yeah. I thought some other people's I learned about some people I didn't know from watching the stream the first weekend and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I have like a list of people I added to my must check out list.
Lizzo performed. And Lizzo dropped a new joint.
She dropped a new album, and she was Coach tells you when you got talent and you command the stage, because the sound was an issue, I guess, depending on throughout the weekend. Because Ariana Grande had a problem with her sound when she brought Nicki Minaj out, so her ears, Nicki Minaj's ears weren't working. So they have this thing where they go back and forth for each other in the song, right? And it was horrible. But I'm not gonna blame them for that. That was sound.
No,
but
but that's weird that
sound.
and a bit that big
have sound. Lizzo's sound kept cutting out during her performance.
Wow.
And she just they was stepping and dancing through it. She's like, I'm gonna sing my shit. I don't care.
We're gonna make this work.
Until the sound came back on. So they were definitely having problems, but like Lizzo killed it. I fucking love that.
Yo.
And then she did this, she has this song where I guess it's somebody she broke up with. That's what the song is about. So
what, Jerome? Is it Jerome?
No, I don't know the names.
Yeah, right, cool.
I don't know the names yet. But it's the one that she dresses up in the wedding dress, and you think it's a love song, but it's about an ex. And she like throws a bouquet out into the crowd. It's fantastic. She has all these fantastic outfits, and then Lizzo and Tara Wack came on to Janelle Monáe's
wow.
show, and she was like, I knew she was bringing it out. She's like, I want to bring some people out. They got the juice. They got so much juice. They can light up the city. All this electricity. And then Lizzo came out with awesome. I loved Lizzo's Coachella outfits, because you have Coachella outfits. Oh. And so she had this cowboy hat. And it was bra.
See, I gotta find these videos.
You're right. She had these cutoffs, and then she had a little something wrapped around her, and then she do a little twerk. Lizzo got this giant ass, and she's like, and so like that. I was like, well, hey,
Lizzo is just funny.
It's funny. She's like, yeah, I got the juice.
Yeah, I like Lizzo because
I like
her
Lizzo
attitude
a lot.
is
She's so positive. She's so happy.
You can tell she's just having fun.
Just
and that's what's great about
her. She's like, I ain't got time for my haters.
Yeah. It's like she's having fun.
Her haters ain't even her motivators, because they know her radar. That's what I love about her. And then they had
her fault.
They had Tara Wack. If you're looking for new rappers, check out Tara Wack. Yeah. I was like, what if you be? And I fell in love with Rico Nasty, oddly enough. Don't judge me.
Okay.
she's people I was like, oh, Rico, yeah. But Tara Wack is a little different. She's definitely a new weird rapper. And I love it. I was like, because at first I listened to her, I didn't like it, and then it came back. You got to give stuff multiple listens.
Yeah.
Because I came back and I was like, what was I smoking? This girl is great. And then the weird images she get. So her new video is unemployed. It is so weird. I do not know why her ass gets bigger and bigger and her hips. I don't know why that's happening. If y'all know why, come back and explain that to me. But there's a lot of weird.
The unemployed video is
weird.
You should check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Check it out.
But anywho.
Back to Beyonce.
Drop
that heat.
So the big scandal about it was, why it came up this year is for a few reasons, actually for quite a few reasons. Yeah. The one that kept it going even after Homecoming on Netflix dropped was somebody found out, and The Root they posted on every.
Here they come.
The Grapevine, The Root, all this. And I was like, I know the person writing the article. And I'm like, I know, she's our girl. So the controversy was that Ariana Grande was paid $8 million for her performance. Mm-hmm. It's Ariana Grande. She pretty much went on there and gave you a tour date. That's what she gave you. I actually listened to her music. Wouldn't go to a concert because I'm a performance person. You really got to give me energy. You got to really perform, and I wasn't really feeling that with her set. So I was like, I'll just stick to listening to the album. I'm good. And so performance-wise, she's doing what a lot of people at Coachella are doing. Well, a lot of musicians in period do. They focus on the music. They do a little cha-cha-cha. They put, an outfit on. Even the greats do this. Mariah Carey is not giving you dance steps. She's going to give you great looks. She's going to have some backup dancers. She'll have
awesome outfits
and some vocals. She's going to give you those vocals. That's what she do. I respect her.
And we out.
I'll meet them where they at. So then the news dropped that last year for Beychella, she only got $4 million. I was like, ooh. So at first I understood all the shade the Root was throwing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, that is scandalous. Like, even if it is the previous year, it's just the previous year. It's absolutely crazy that you will only give her $4 million.
Like double.
Because she's Beyonce.
I could see it like last year Beyonce got 7, and this year, because that's a gradual
and stuff. So what was left out? Because I read the whole article that at least one of them. I didn't read both of them. Maybe they came back and put that information in there, and this is why I'm like, okay, you gotta make sure you get all your details together before you write a whole article, okay?
Especially when you're trying to fry somebody.
Exactly. So what the details are is this is the difference between this whole level up that we talk about artists doing.
Yep.
Where you're not gonna be in front forever. Like Beyonce, if you watch Homecoming, she loves doing what she does.
Yes. And
she shows you all the energy that went into it.
Yeah.
This is no easy feat.
Nope.
And stuff like that.
It essentially took a year to put that together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, months and months. She started almost directly after having the twins to be ready in time to do all this the very next year. People don't know she pushed herself hard, and she said she probably would not push herself that hard to again because she had to have an emergency C-section for the twins. So you're talking about cut muscle. The struggle is real and stuff. But the details that are now coming out about that is she was paid $4 million. She put on this grand show because she wanted exclusive rights to the footage. That's why you couldn't find it anywhere. That's why even the video that we have has been taken down. It was taken down pretty quick.
It's taken down super fast. I'm glad I downloaded it. Because it was taken down quick.
It was taken around real quick.
So the reason that she got paid less is because she said, look, Coachella, you can't have it.
You can't have it.
Can't nobody else have it but me.
But it wasn't just that she wanted the footage because, again, you're comparing. I think it's not fair to compare Ariana Grande to Beyonce. It's really not. Like, I think her vocals are great, actually. Yeah. But she's not on that par of creativity. Plus,
she hasn't gotten
Beyonce's been doing this for 20 years. She's been doing it 2 decades.
Yeah, she's like 22-year career.
Yeah, exactly. 2 decades versus however long Rihanna. I mean,
maybe
Ariana's
1
been
decade,
out.
maybe. But I'm also squeezing in Disney time with that. So that doesn't really count.
Really count.
More like 5 years.
And then it's all about your business acumen. Clearly, Jay's rubbing off on Beyonce. Who knows? Beyonce could have had this in her all along. We don't know. But it takes time, especially the older the artist you are. People don't realize the level up doesn't happen overnight. I think it happens a lot faster now because people are aware that you can do these things. But it's the things you didn't know you could do. Now you know you can do, so you do them. And so
Beyonce, and the only reason you know you can do them is because of people like Beyonce.
Exactly. So she's breaking it over, and she acknowledges the people who open those doors for her. Yep. Take note, mumble rappers of the here and now. And so your history is important. You might learn something. and so she really put on her entrepreneur hat, wanted exclusive rights to this. Yep. And so she makes this movie together. It's like it gives you background on it. It tells you what she did to strive to get to it while giving you generous snippets from both performances. Yeah. So you can see how they varied. There's parts I don't remember seeing. And I watched that whole performance. I
watched it twice. Yeah. I watched it twice. 3 times actually. And then I
made it all I made it like a regular thing the following week just to watch it, just to get my life. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to do some bullshit. All right, I'm good. Let me go out and stuff. And so she makes a live album, 40 tracks, drops that the week of, and then she drops all this stuff during Coachella, leading up to Coachella. So before you can get to Coachella, she's already messed up everybody that weekend. No, she drops it. I think she dropped it after Coachella, the first weekend of Coachella.
After the first weekend,
After the first weekend. So before the second, after the first. And she drops all the stuff, the live album, the documentary. Yep. So it picks up and everybody. So you're talking about Coachella. Coachella's trendy. Talk about attaching your buggy to something. Yeah. Attaching your buggy to something. And so people are going to hear about it. People have been hearing about it. And then I love, because I didn't put it together when they posted it. And when Netflix just posted Homecoming. And all the memes came out. They're like, but how will they know? And it's the one where she's sitting like this. they'll know. I was like, I connected all of it. I was like, oh, and you're excited.
Netflix knew.
I don't think it was Netflix. I think all that was Bay.
Oh,
I think she had. That's how you start to see that in the documentary.
Well, yeah,
she has a hand in everything.
What I mean by Netflix knew is like, I think Netflix is actively going out to people like, look, do you have something? We are home. Bring your stuff to us, please.
Oh, they're hungry. They're trying to level
because
up.
Disney, November 2nd is coming.
Right.
Don't worry about winter.
So she drops all this. She's making money off the streaming. Now, here's where it gets good. $4 million. She got paid to make Homecoming. Yep. And she took a pay cut, but she still got paid. Yeah. She didn't have to pay for any of this. She's like, I want to come in for less money. How much money did she get from Netflix?
Man.
$60 million for Homecoming. Already paid for by somebody else. That's what you call repurposing content, my people. So
60
please don't cry for Beyonce.
Yes.
She does not need your tears.
Now, when I was watching it, I was talking to Lisa about something that you say a lot. A lot of times you talk about people that, when they come in, people were like, yo, why you ain't say something back then? Why you ain't change it back then? And you didn't have it. Beyonce couldn't have done Beychella 5, 10, 15 years ago. But now she has the power, the presence to do a performance with nothing but Black excellence in a place where nobody is really checking for it.
Right.
Have statements from Maya Angelou, have statements from Malcolm X, and sing the Black national anthem on a stage that has
all three verses, y'all. Because people would love on the third verse when she kicked into the third verse. I forgot.
I don't know that one.
Because everybody does the first two.
Yeah. So no one has done that on that stage with that visibility.
Right.
Beyonce would not have been able to do that 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Sometimes people don't understand a lot of things change. You gotta wait so you can really make that difference.
She drove the point home even further in Homecoming, where she had more statements. And I'm like, this is about Black culture.
She makes that clear. Yeah. She talks about
because people.
And I thought that was ironic because people were dragging her. She's like, she didn't go to HBCU, and then she made it. She said, I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was raised in Texas.
Yeah.
I spent my time going. They made my year when we went.
But she was like, Destiny's Child was my college.
But I chose my career. Yeah. She didn't go to college. People don't remember she didn't go to college at all. Yeah. She said, I'm going to go and do this career thing. And good for her, because if you've got a plan, college is not always necessary.
Yeah.
College is an investment.
Yeah.
Don't go for the experience. Experience is fantastic. I absolutely loved college. However, I went there with a purpose. There was something I wanted to do with the knowledge I was trying to gain there. And I'm still putting that into use to this day. But if you go there with no plan, you will just be in debt or spend a lot of money for nothing. College is great. There's so much to college. People forget that it's about you attaining skills, and it's an investment for a profession in the future. So you know.
Yeah, and it showed that she showed that her father went to HBCU, and I mean, she probably wanted to follow those steps.
And that's how that works.
Look at what she did. I couldn't go to an HBCU, but you know what I can do?
Right.
I can take HBCU and its culture and put it on a pedestal that no one else is doing, even though they have the opportunity.
Us what we have. When we're talking about we don't know all the resources we have, we forget about our HBCU.
Because let's be honest, the people that can afford to go to Coachella don't always look like us.
Right.
So you're talking about people that have probably never seen a step show.
Man, the band, the band. Oh my goodness, marching band.
My band at my school doesn't sound like this.
I wonder
why our band doesn't sound like this.
Their renditions of music, they really, what HBUs could do to really help their bottom line, because I know they're struggling financially because we're not supporting them, and they're,
they could always do either live performances,
they should do
or albums or something.
They clear it. And do albums, live albums, clear it. And I feel like you came from this supporting our school and trying to.
And actually, since you're playing it live, you might be able to.
Not if you make an
circumvent.
album. No.
Oh, not if you make.
The reason why you can sing stuff live is because it's not direct revenue.
Cool.
And that
y'all better do some summer shows. Start doing some summer shows.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. They can do shows, so they wouldn't have to pay to clear anything.
There's people that are black that are just as powerful as Beyonce or more, and have never given you.
Because homecoming is a big deal. I have friends that are from HBCUs that live on this coast, because most of them are on the East Coast, and they will fly. They are 10 years out from college.
All my East Coast and my South people.
Fly back.
Y'all know homecoming is real.
They're like, oh, I got to go back to my alma mater. There, homecoming's going on. I'm like, homecoming, and they're like, oh yeah,
homecoming.
They fly out
homecoming
there.
Is like, homecoming is this feeling of, all right, you got to be fly. All right, that's first thing. You got to be fly. Whatever you went, even if you bought it today, you got to buy something new. You got to be fly. You got crisp head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you gotta be like Gucci down, Versace down, velour suit, something. You gotta stand out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have like I don't know.
I would encourage us though to start doing more and more black designers. If you want to stand out, there's nothing like going to a black designer because ain't nobody gonna have that.
Yo, Ruthie Carter, who watches the show, she's designing my next set. Well, not exactly yet. She doesn't know it. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. She gonna, I'm a DM her, be like, yo, man.
Be sure you put that little disclaimer on there.
Disclaimer. She hasn't said this yet. But I'm just saying, she can hook her brother up with some blazers or something. I keep it professional, but still keeping it Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? But this was a celebration of Black culture. And I said it when I was watching the show with Lisa. She could have easily just went up there and did the Beyonce show.
Right.
Could be like, went up there, Beyonce,
she made this event for us
around.
that year, and then came back the very next year and stole all the buzz of Coachella and made it another event for us, and secured the bag
$60 million
a few times over. I feel like that's securing the bag a few times over.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give you guys that. That's like a master class and securing the bag. Yeah. It's all about thinking out the box. That's a way of like you take a little less but get a lot in return. And
shout out to Tiffany Little. Yes, you're right. Saturday mornings, BT did used to show like Battle of the Bands and stuff for Black. They did before BT went through its changes. I'm going to say that. But BT did used to show like Hampton U and North Carolina.
It's how people on the East Coast, on the West Coast, got their exposure to that because we don't have any HBCUs on this coast. So
that's I remember that, and it was a great time when BT was on point. When BT was dope, but that's how I wanted to end the show. Beyonce killed it, man, and I'm glad that for someone who has been critical of her in her early career, for someone who hasn't bought one album of hers, I am a straight up respecter of her character and fan now, because Beyonce did something that many before her could have done but found a way not to. And she did, and she didn't have to.
Right.
She put a lot. She had 200 people on the stage, 200. Man, dancing, singing, changing, and walking around each other. Do you know how much trust it takes to be on those risers and know that no one's going to bump into you?
Right.
The time that it took to put that together.
Exactly.
And
she took a lot of time to put them on. Like they all had a time. I think they took a time with probably everybody except for maybe the backup singers, where they had a time to come forward and like show what they do and. No, put on.
They had like twins in there.
They were lit. I've never seen. Okay, I've seen the twins before, but I always look at like.
See, I've never seen them live, but I remember the twins when they was putting videos like on MySpace.
Right.
The twins been dope for a minute.
They're dope, right? But I always felt like when other people use them in their shows, because it's not the first time people have used them in their shows, this was like. It was so well done. Like when they came out to that music, because I think they knew this. It's kind of like when Angela Bassett was talking about being on set for Black Panther. Right. And last year, 2018 was sort of our year. We had some Black people had some BS. Yes, we did. We had some racism, but we had Black Panther, we had Beychella, and we had Miles Morales close the year out.
So like, and I know a lot of people ain't up on animation, but if you watch it, if you have ever read a comic book in your life,
read the comic and then go watch Into the Spider-Verse because it was lit. I do want them to do a live action. I keep saying it ain't never gonna be good enough until we get a live action.
Yeah, but for someone who has clowned Sony Animation for a long time,
that animation was on point. People like,
I was like,
why is it so glitchy? I'm like, did you
it's
read the story?
It's on purpose.
It's on purpose.
Yeah,
it makes them. I loved it. I love the animation.
Sony Animation,
and at times it looks real.
Yeah,
it looks like it looked like it's.
It goes like to a hyper realistic kind of thing.
Like it's going to fade into like real life, but it doesn't. It goes real close, but it doesn't.
And it's like that.
It was really impressive.
And that's a brother, David Ramsey, did it from here in LA. Watches the show, directed the movie. Big shout out to him. You know, thank you, LA love. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know your signs. All right. So LA, big shout out to y'all.
It does take some coordination to do it.
But last year we had a lot of dope black stuff. You know what I'm saying? That I think a lot of people, because we have short memories now.
Does Virginia have anything like that?
Just VA.
Okay.
Yeah, so VA or you like. Okay. So yeah, you know. Yeah. So we good.
We're teaching hand signs.
Beyonce,
I never really do this.
Incredible. Incredible. Watch It Homecoming is just as dope as what. And actually, I like the version that we had to download.
Right.
Was pretty good quality. Nothing compared to that 4K though.
Right.
Not compared to that. Right. I was like, damn, it's so much better than what I had.
But what you had was illegal. What we had was happy.
Yeah, what we had, we were happy. And this is just, it's, man, Beyonce is a legend for that. Straight up. Yeah. For me, when an artist starts doing something that affects people's lives, like further, like beyond the music.
She does a lot of charity work in our community, and her and Jay like to keep it under wraps, which I really respect. But I probably said this on the show before, like people harp on the negative because if they're not telling you what they're doing, you assume they're not doing it. Yeah. And then if they tell you what they're doing, it's like, oh, well, you're only doing it for publicity. You really got to stop doing it. You can't win.
What you want.
It's a catch-22.
What they want from us.
Right. I got
what these people want from us. Big shout out to Dark and Chocolate. She said she has 2 more projects to produce for Netflix. Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's include.
Okay. Nice.
This is the stuff that we needed.
2 more joints.
We needed to kind of put out there, and I was like, I don't think people understood that, and I was like, you're doing business, and then the next time, because if this, well, not if it has done already really well, and then you don't have to take that pay cut the next time, and that's where we are as Black people. Like Beyonce had to take a cut.
I mean, technically, when you think about it, it's not really a pay cut. It's a consideration for having exclusivity. Yeah, that's businesses do that all the time. Like say if Fox wants exclusive rights to air the NFL playoffs, they're going to have to give something to the NFL for that.
Yeah, they pay for that.
They have to pay for that. They have to give up, certain ad spots or something. There's something that you give. So she gave that, but she got exclusive rights, man. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Jackie Chan, I didn't know he was that rich. Yeah, he owns all distribution rights to all the movies in Asia.
I tell you, he's like, all right, when it comes to my home country though, I got all that. That's all mine.
When it comes anywhere in Asia, that's me.
They probably leaked that because it's hard to get movies into China. China only lets a limited number of American movies, foreign movies, period, into their market. Yeah. So in only certain type, they have their criteria for letting them in. So if you got someone on the inside who's like a beloved son of that country, guess what movies are probably going to get in? His movies. So he's like, nah, you want this movie to get in? Like every movie will get in.
And not only his own, but also Rush Hour. Any Rush Hour movie, he has the distribution rights.
Well, he was the lead in that movie. So any movie he's lead on, any movies because he does make movies himself, at the same time, he does all his own stunts. Like he has a lot of creative control, and that is what you want to strive for as an artist. So when you're ready to retire, like we ain't heard nothing from Jackie Chan in a minute because he did his work.
He did his work.
He got money for days.
That's why, like Beyonce's in a point right now,
right?
Where
She'll be able to sit down with her babies and not do anything. We're gonna have to start getting used as more and more artists figure this out.
Yeah.
Which I think this is a great thing. By the way, that disclaimer there. We're going to have to get used to letting our artists go and them not having to work themselves into old age. Yeah. Which is going to be great because then there's turnover.
We won't have a situation where you have Frankie Beverly and Maze having to like perform.
Right. Unless they want to.
Unless they want to.
It shouldn't be a have to, it should be a want to.
Yeah.
Some people just love the stage.
Yeah.
And could have retired years ago, but I just love the stage.
Yeah, I love performing, I love the rehearsal.
So as long as that's the reason why you're doing it, so you're not doing it when you're hurt.
But there's a lot of people that have to because it's like
the money wasn't like it is now where you could plan it out the way you can now. And you can make these deals, multi-layered deals where you just get so much money if you handle your accounts right. And that's another thing that I think more and more artists are aware of I need to get somebody who's going to manage my money, figure out how to make my money grow and stretch. So when I cannot do this anymore, because that time will come, I'm good. Or when I don't feel like doing this anymore, because some artists have definitely gotten into like, I don't want to, like Jordan Peele's a person who's like, I don't want to act anymore. He does not want to be an actor anymore. Yeah. So he just wants to direct.
And now I remember an interview a long time ago where Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key were together, and he was talking how great a writer he was. Mm-hmm. And we were just like, oh yeah, comedy. Yeah, we get it. And we're like, no, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
You don't understand his writing.
Right.
You have no idea.
Right.
So it's good that we're getting it.
And then it makes space for other people to come in, because there is this problem with business in general. Always, it's not even just a Hollywood thing, it's just corporate business where they want to go that safe route. They want, even if it produces less, they rather be safe and know what they're going to get than take risks. Now knowing that, with risk comes, with great risk comes great reward, great ruin too, but great ruin, you can't
I'm pretty sure beyond, but see, the good thing is Beyonce's at a level right now where if you want her to perform, she's like, look, okay, I'll perform. I'm doing what I want to do, singing what I want to sing, and dancing what I want to dance.
Yeah, exactly.
All you know is that I'll be there at 5 o'clock.
Right. And like, this is
or
why
2 o'clock.
I mean, of course, you're going to get like further instructions because her set has to come in, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think there's great lessons to learn. And I think it's to embrace that, because a lot of people, I think, seems like to me more and more artists are like, I'm not gonna be here forever and a day doing this. And I welcome that, because then that makes room for more people to get in, and we get away from this tokenism that
there could only be one
for Blacks, and then also just limited. You get tired of seeing the same people in all these different movies. You get tired of seeing the same people. Like, you're on everything. You're here, you're there, you're there. You can give that to more, but I was like, but the people are living off of this. They're trying to eat out of this. So I say, if that's how they feel, I think that's a great trend. Get your money and then move out and let the next person come in.
Pretty much, there's only 2 performances in Coachella that come to mind that are worth kind of like watching again and again. One that I know of isn't recorded in like full perpetuity, which is when Daft Punk did that crazy laser and light show. But that's it. And now Beyonce, which we do have. So basically, you got one. Because the big deal about Daft Punk is that they asked for this exorbitant amount of money, and they didn't even keep the money. They just used all that money to buy lights and moving phasers and sparks and stuff. That's why. But they didn't film it.
Right.
So we'll never, besides cell phone footage that's on, but look, I ain't trying to see through your BlackBerry.
And that was a number of years ago, so that's the quality.
That's why I say your BlackBerry. I ain't trying to look at that. No. I mean, I've seen it. It looks kind of cool, but it's on a cell phone, and it's like, it's not the same. That Beyonce coming out on stage with a cane and a crown and stuff, and then people dancing and getting off the risers, coming on the risers, and tuba players. And look, you can't beat it. You're at a level where you're gonna have to really bring it to. Honestly, you're right. Maybe not shut down Coachella, but Coachella probably should have took like a 5-year break. Like, take a 5-year break. and then come back.
You don't have to. I know. Eventually, somebody will come and find something at least on par. I think it just raised
about 20 years
expectations.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's something you have to wait 20 years for. It's just you have to challenge yourself to do. I think that's what it was. Like, look at the amount of work she does.
Yeah, but nobody has the cat. Well, I won't say nobody has the catalog.
I think
there are people that have the catalog. But can dance and sing and
that's the thing. But that is what used to be common among performers.
Yeah, because it's not common now.
It's not common now, and I think that's the problem. It's like you're not thinking about your performance or how your show is going to be perceived. You just go out there and sing, and I guess that's cool for those who love you for your singing. But for me, I'm a performance person.
Yeah.
So if you don't got a great stage show, I'm probably not going to go and see you in concert, because why? I could listen to your album.
Yeah.
Unless you do. The only time I like to cop live albums is like people do the people who think to change their arrangement in very cool ways.
The Roots.
Yeah, the Roots.
When you talk about rappers, the Roots, Busta Rhymes, Method Man, Redman, those are guys that change their stuff like considerably. When you're like, whoa, this is like a whole new take on this song. Yeah, and I like this better. But I literally had that happen. I got love for him.
Where I've heard like live stuff. Oh no.
Nas just pretty much stands and raps.
Yeah.
Now I know he did that thing,
but there's a lot of people who do that. There's a lot of people who do that. Rappers. And I will not see your shows, and it's no shade. Yeah, I'll cop an album, but I will not go see the shows.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Look, 2 hours, y'all. We've been hanging out. All right. Happy Easter. Now, before we get out of here, we want to thank y'all for watching us. Hit that thumbs up. Now, if you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna get Kim Kardashian to prosecute you. All right.
You're scared.
That's right. Right. She gonna take you down.
She's gonna surprise you and take you out, and you can be like, "How?"
You be like, "Man, why am I in court already?" So, to my left, I have Marqueeda LaStar.
Hello, fam. What it do, y'all? West Coast for life, LA in the house now. We've been giving a lot of love for the East Coast. Yeah, it took me a while. It took me probably into college before I was like, I'm from LA. And that's dope.
Yeah.
Cool. When I was growing up, everybody from anywhere else was like the thing. Like I
a big city.
Yeah, I would brag so hard about where my mom was from. I was just like anywhere other than here.
It's like, you know about the deep south?
Exactly.
What you know about rural areas?
Exactly. You know, we got farms
crops
and wells and animals and stuff and forests everywhere.
You ever had to kill a snake?
Right.
We never did that.
I loved bragging about that when I came
home. You ever had to run field mice out of your crops because they eating your collards?
I love it. And it did, but I think that's like something that I guess that's like just something everybody has. Like you just kind of take your town for granted. I think people in small towns, like I go to small towns and I just flip out. This is awesome. This is cool. You guys are so different. This is so different.
This is amazing.
And they're like looking at me and they're like, and I think that's where the stereotype comes from. Like, oh, these big town people. I'm like, no, I like that you guys live differently from me. But anyhow, you can find me anywhere on the internet at LaStar.next and like tell me about where you live because I like that kind of stuff.
And you can find me at that NERDSoul. That's ThatNERDSoul. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Holla at your boy. I've crossed 1,000 on Twitter. I've crossed 1,000 on Instagram. I've crossed 2,000 here on YouTube. My brother's climbing. Just a little bit a week, just a week climb. A little bit, just a step at a time.
Step at a time.
Yeah, I'm about to cross 1,000 videos on YouTube. I'm gonna do something cool. Also, big shout out to my new Patreon supporter, Tim I. I can't pronounce your last name, so I ain't gonna mess it up. But Tim, we here, all right? We here. Now, to Gabrielle, can't remember. You were in the super chat. Big shout out to her. You were Doriel. Thank you, Doriel 214. So yeah, make sure to win back so I didn't mess up your name for the super chat. But guys, make sure to tweet me. Let's talk about Doom Patrol. Let's talk about Wu-Tang. Let's talk about Beychella. It's all good. But until next week, all right, keep your ears to the street. Stay real. And stay out of them other women's face, all right? You know, get yourself a Nubian queen.
Don't call us Nubian queen.
But just don't call them Nubian. Oh man. So from us to you, thanks for chilling out. Peace.